Mr. Patch. Welcome back to the Kev Baker Show.
Well, thanks, Kev and Johnny. I appreciate you guys bringing me in on such short notice, but I thought that this was very timely, and this is a bit of video that if people go to YouTube and go to the YouTube channel Cinemark, that's C-I-N-E-M-A-R-K, Cinemark, for Cinemark Theaters. This is a advertisement that is seen only in the Cinemark theaters about an upgrade to a new form of projector that they're using. Now that sounds like, okay, no big deal. But this video, and it's only 1 minute and 6 seconds, is loaded with everything that has to do with the new age of Aquarius coming this year in September. The Hebraic year of 5777 ends and 5778 begins. It is the 5th age in the new age parlance of Aquarius. This is loaded, and we're going to break it down because there's so much in this video that illustrates and points to right in our face that, as I believe, they are going to open the portal this year, and it's right here in this video. So we'll break it down. If people go to Cinemark on YouTube and they go quickly to the 44-second image, at 44 seconds, you will see the portal opening. You will actually see the birthing of the Antichrist, which happens, according to Revelation 12, September 23rd of this year, the birthing of the Antichrist by Jupiter in the constellation Virgo. Yeah, people are talking about the birth of Christ, but this is the birthing from the New Age perspective, from the occult perspective. September 23rd is the birthing of the spirit of the Antichrist. That is what they're showing at the end of this video. I'm going along looking at, they're showing the different components of this new projector system and the new projector screen that it works with. And I'm going to break all this down, but the point is, it didn't blow my mind until I got nearly to the end of this video. And I went, oh, okay, great. Now they're just showing us CERN. They're showing us the Antichrist. They're showing us the birthing of the DNA, the resurrection of the DNA of Osiris, which is Nimrod, who built the Tower of Babel, which is what CERN is. So the spirit of Antichrist is being brought forth in September, and that's what this video is showing. This is, as you said, related to the Burning Man event, which takes place in late August and early September, the Burning Man event in the desert of Nevada. At Burning Man, they are, if you go to the Burning Man website, you'll see an image of a gazebo or a pagoda that has been built in the center of the desert, in the center of the ring. And that pagoda has a golden spike on the top of it. That golden spike is all about gold, which we're going to get into in a second. It's about the Birkeland currents connecting to the planets from CERN. At the time of this birthing of the Antichrist, the pagoda is 8-sided, just like the eight streams that are depicted here, and the 12 strands of DNA. So what we're looking at here is all of the mathematical, the geometric representations of CERN's main ring and the cross-section of the detectors, which are all octagon-shaped, but it is also related to 12-strand DNA. The 12 streams in the video coming towards the center are the 12-stranded DNA of the Ogdoad. The Ogdoad are the 8 primary deities, the Godheads, that they're going to resurrect. So we're talking about deities with 12-strand DNA when they were alive in human form, that DNA is being resurrected. This is part of the agenda of the portal opening, is a resurrection of ancient DNA. That is what is being birthed at CERN. You are seeing the birthing of the beast, the Antichrist, in this video in the center of these 12 streams, which are DNA coming together. This was done in the desert in this video, which goes right back to the ritual that I just cited, which is Burning Man in the Nevada desert on the White Playa, the dry lake bed. The dry lake bed was in CERN's video Symmetry. They filmed the circle with the human, which is the Antichrist, in the middle of it, performing the ritual. That's what Burning Man is all about, is a total occult ritual. And what they are birthing, if you go to the Burning Man website, they are birthing the new age of Aquarius, which is the birthing of the Antichrist this year. Everything is being pointed towards September. Let me just take this from the very beginning here. We're talking about literally a script in which every single word has an occult translation. So, I don't know if we really want to break all this down completely, but let me just take the first sentence. It says, why upgrade the Cinemark XD? The word why is questioning authority. Why change anything? He says upgrade. Well, that's DNA. People are comfortable with constantly upgrading computers, so why not yourself? This is getting people accustomed to the idea of upgrading your DNA being a good thing. And it's Cinemark. Cine, this is kind of weird, but the word Cine, C-I-N-E, in cinema or Cinemark, is the Golden Eagle Award. Now, they give out like a Oscar. They give an award in film called the Golden Eagle. I want to emphasize gold. If you look at commercials right now, like the commercial for something as innocuous as Kentucky Fried Chicken, okay, Colonel Sanders and all of the images in there are all gold. There's several others that I sent to you, like Coca-Cola, the Golden Phoenix, the Rising of the Phoenix. Everything, what I want to highlight to people is gold. This year, everything is gold. If you look at Beyonce in the Grammys, she was all gold. Gold is being used for communication to the other side right now. Gold is what they are using to resurrect the DNA in September of the ancients. When you see gold in all of these mainstream media events like commercials and movies, understand that gold is tied to the ancient societies, to necromancy, to communication with the dead and the raising of the dead. Gold is at the heart of all of this. So pay attention to gold in cinema and in commercials. Go ahead.
And when you're thinking of that gold as well, I mean, maybe it's just me, Tony, but this new age of Aquarius, I mean, this is their new golden age, right?
It is. We've talked about for a couple of years about they're trying to resurrect and recreate the golden age of Kronos, Kronos being Saturn. Saturn was the original sun. Their worship of the sun, it's not necessarily Apollo as the sun, but it's Apollo also as the original sun in their belief system, which was Saturn, which is a brown dwarf star, a burned out sun. So this is their golden age, this age of Aquarius. Everything that they are pointing to in the occult, in the Catholic Church, the Vatican, the Jesuits, in mainstream media, everything's pointing towards the birthing of the golden age. That's, again, why Beyonce was doing her ritual at the Grammys, all cladded in gold. And there's a lot more to it, but it is the birthing of the golden age and the age of Aquarius. I'm talking about purple. You may recall that Kev and I talked about, a month and a half, 2 months ago, in which I said there's going to be a purple revolution. Now, every revolution has a color lately. Think about the Arab Spring. Their color was green. The Iraqis, everything is green. That was a green spring, Arab Spring. What you see throughout, like with Hillary and Bill Clinton at the end of her campaign, the two of them were on stage both wearing purple. You see it throughout the commercials. You see purple all over the place. What is coming is a revolution in the United States and probably the world that will be called the Purple Revolution. And I believe that Project Bluebeam will not be blue, but a variation of blue. It will actually be a purple beam. In this birthing in September, we're talking about the twins of Gemini, and that's what she represents. She represents this new age through those two deities. It's as if one child was the age Pisces, which is what we're in now, and the other child represents the golden age, or the age of Aquarius being birthed. And she is due in early June to give birth to these twins, maybe as early as late May, because twins oftentimes are born prematurely. But she represents this whole birthing of the new age. Yeah, absolutely. She is the queen. She is showing everybody that this is the time of the new age. Definitely.
Now, what else do you want to break down from this advert that we played at the start? Because I know you've got so much that it goes into.
Yeah, I mean, it really does, and it's hard to do it justice in a short period of time. But really what I want people to understand, the big takeaway, is this is showing the mark of the beast. You'll see the red X and then the letter D in the video. That red X is the mark of the beast. That is blood. This is DNA. D has to do with DNA, and it has to do with multiple dimensions. This whole video is saying the birthing is taking place because we've manipulated the DNA. We've resurrected the ancient DNA through DNA sequencing, the digitization, the digitizing to binary 0 and 1s of ancient DNA. Not just Osiris's and Nimrod's DNA, the same, but the others, the 8 primary deities made up as the Ogdode. The birthing of the Ogdode is going to be represented in August on the 21st by the full eclipse traveling across the United States from Oregon to South Carolina. That shape of that eclipse shadow is an egg. It's never been seen before. That egg is literally the Ogdode. The Ogdode means the egg. Ogdode means 8. 8 deities, 8 godheads. This is a warning sign that in a few weeks after the eclipse on August 21st, we will have the birthing of these deities, and the birthing is done by CERN, and that is what's being shown in this video, the birthing that's taking place. Now, this whole thing breaks down into DNA, the chromosomes specifically. Let me give you one other tangible. They're talking about the components of not only the projector, but the projection screen. The projection screen, what they are showing are the layered components of the screen. That layering, that component, that is showing you the target area in the center of the main ring of the Large Hadron Collider. That is the impact point. It is layers of lead and concrete that they dump the energy beams, the particles, into the north area. The north area target is what this screen is showing you in this video. It is also the point where the portal opens, and it is the point where the ancient DNA is resurrected. It sounds ridiculous, but if you look at the video and you put on the glasses of understanding the occult symbolism, the occult agenda, and their language and their numerology, and if you combine that with physics and particle physics and understand things, then when you have that special pair of glasses on, then you can see this. It just jumps out at you, and it's unfortunate. What I'm talking about so quickly and so, superficially here doesn't do it justice. There is so much behind this video that you really have to do the research to understand it fully. And that's why I've broken it down, and if people want a copy of it, they can email me and I'll send it. But again, this is what they're doing in mainstream culture, is they are putting everything that they are doing this year right in our face. They have nothing to hide. They're so far along in their agenda. They know they're going to be successful. They know that they don't have to hide it anymore because they have hidden it so well and camouflaged it so well up to this point in time that people, even when presented the evidence like you and I and Johnny are doing, people will discount it. They'll go to that normalcy bias, and they'll just say, oh, that's a bunch of nonsense. You're reading way too much into this. Well, if you have the knowledge, if you have the research to back up, then it's like learning a language. Once you know the alphabet, once you know the numerical sequences, then it jumps right off the page. It's hard for the average person to believe what I'm saying here, that if any of you have believed any of the information that I've given out in the last 3 years, please understand that I've done the research, and my research partner, Chris, has brought in all of this ancient studies dialogue that I'm presenting to you very quickly today. But when you combine the ancient studies along with the physics and the DNA and the quantum computing that I do, you really can see the picture of their agenda. I'm convinced it's this year. I am absolutely convinced. And this is the first time I've been this emphatic about it. But this is why this video is so important. Well, just to recap just for a second, the word Cine in Cinema or Cinemark XD, as this projector is, C-I-N-E, relates to the Golden Eagle Award. That's the Golden Phoenix. Now, you'll also see that on Coca-Cola's new cans. You'll see the Golden Phoenix all over the place in there. You'll see the birthing of the Ogdoad on the cans. So this isn't just in one place or a few places. This is throughout popular culture and advertising right now. Look for the gold. Pay attention to the gold, and you'll see what I'm seeing here. But to go beyond just the word Golden Eagle Award coming from Cine, let's look at the actual projector itself, because I can't make this up. When I looked up the Barco, that's B-A-R-C-O, model DP, that's David Paul, 4K B-series state-of-the-art projector. When I went and looked at the company and looked at this model number, it is described as a bright 4K Barco, and wait for it, Alchemy DLP cinema projector for screens up to 105 feet. Why did they use the word alchemy in a movie projector?
Wow, and we're talking about gold, and we've often referred to CERN being like an alchemist machine before, Tony. Unbelievable.
Yeah, again, it's right in your face. They choose the names for their products because this is all part of ritual symbols that are used for rituals. Okay, this is all ritualistic. This is all built out of the occult secret societies. None of these businesses are operating independent of the secret society's influences. Okay, so that's why alchemy is in there. They're saying, hey, we're projecting for you the images of what's coming with the golden age, what is new and what is going to happen. The screen size is 105 feet. That's 10 and 5, the fifth age, okay? 10 is double 5. That's the twins. That's the birthing of the twins in the fifth age. All of these numbers, all of these words have significance in them. When they talk about their speaker system, they say, or maybe it's the immersive. Where have you heard the word immersive used in our conversations, Kev?
Oh, would that be 5G?
Absolutely. Immersive 5G Wi-Fi. Okay, that was my own word, immersive. Well, here it comes right out in the script from this video. Or maybe it's the immersive 3-layer 11.1 multi-channel speaker system. I'm going to break that down. Not only immersive, which means a new world, a new reality, a sentient world simulation that you're being immersed in, but it's 3-layer. 3-layer is third strand DNA. It goes back to DNA again. 11.1, everybody is familiar with why 11 is significant, but take the 3 individual ones and add them together. That's 3, third strand DNA. Multi-channel is multiple dimensions. It's the channeling with multiple entities who are speaking through the speaker system, okay? Or maybe it's the immersive 3-layer 11.1 multi-channel speaker system. That sounds like just a normal sentence. But when you break down each individual word, then it jumps off the page at you. This is necromancy. This is communicating with the dead. Because you have the 4 detectors are the 4 cardinal points, north, south, east, and west, arranged that way, and that's the way the Ouija board's arranged. Go ahead.
No, I'm just sitting here. My mind, I mean, usually I'm tracking along with you, but my mind is melting. And something I want the listeners to really get a grip of here and get their head around. And it took me a while to realize this as well, but when you look at science throughout the ages, no matter what time period, it always goes hand in hand with this freaky occult stuff, doesn't it, Tony?
Yeah, you can't get away from it. I mean, it's all built around that. Our modern society, and science in particular, is built around the practices of the occult societies. That's why when we talk about people being dumbed down or things being hidden, it's all about rituals, it's all about symbols, it's all about mathematics, it's all about communication in secret and obtaining information that is forbidden knowledge from the other side, doing it in secret, and that knowledge being applied into our modern world. That's where all of this technology comes from, not just CERN. All of the technology of today is forbidden knowledge that's been obtained from the other side. The two forms of communication are mathematics and a language, an alphabet, that is specific to communicating with fallen angels. A more specific citation is Enoch, the book of Enoch, Enochian mathematics, and the language of the angels. Okay? This is not made up stuff. This is what they use to design and build our world today, and what they're moving towards very rapidly with the new age, the fifth age, it becoming a complete digital world. That's why we talk about full immersion 5G Wi-Fi. That's why we relate that to the sentient world simulation that exists right now. This is why you hear people talking about we live in a holographic universe. It's because they're trying to get people comfortable with accepting the fact that we are in a holographic universe and that we will be more comfortable, we'll be better off living in a digital reality, which is a sentient world simulation, as opposed to the analog reality that was created by God. I think a lot of people would be fooled into accepting it, thinking that it's a good thing, and that's why all of this symbolism is put out for public consumption, is to literally indoctrinate people into believing that augmenting their DNA, changing their bodies, merging through a neural lace, like our friend
Elon Musk.
What's his name? Thank you. Yeah, I'm going too quickly here. Elon Musk pushing the idea of being injected with a neural lace into your bloodstream that would travel to your brain and literally adhere itself to the neurons and then connect you to computer systems, specifically the AI system, which is the sentient world simulation. So we're not making this up. We're putting out there, you and I, the information that we see in the media and in the research papers so that you can see the components, you can see the tools and the systems that they want to put in place. And they're enticing people into thinking that the mark of the beast system is a good thing. The mark of the beast is accepting your connection to the AI system of quantum computers. The quantum computers from D-Wave are communicating with literally thousands upon thousands of parallel dimensions by their own admissions, by their own public statements that they're communicating and extracting resources, which is information from the other side. This is not Anthony Patch speaking in terms of hyperbole. I'm talking about reflecting to you their own words, their own methods by which they're communicating with the other side and getting the information for the technology and the systems that we're talking about here today. Those papyrus and animal skin parchments, if you will, that are behind curved panels of glass at CERN. You know, Chris is a translator, and she's broken all that down. In a nutshell, those are instructions on how to use sound waves, sound frequencies to open the portal. Those are all just representations of the mathematics and the language that's being used to achieve the goal of opening the portal. That's why they're on display at CERN. So they put the hints out there, right out there. If you know what you're looking at, if you're able to translate what you're looking at from having the knowledge that's been occulted, then it's very obvious what they're doing. So this isn't just, again, me making this stuff up. I'm trying to help people to understand that Chris and myself have spent a lot of time, years of research, and what we're trying to do is distill that down and make it very succinct, very short for people so that you understand the conclusions. Please keep in mind that we know what we're talking about. Please understand that there's no one else out in the truth community. And I'm not blowing myself up here, okay? This is not, ego talking. I'm simply telling you that there are very few people in the truth community that have done the deep research that Chris and I have. And so we are trying here. It feels like just in the last few months that we have, trying to get this information out as quickly as we can and in a form that people can understand. Understand that behind the conclusions is an awful lot of research. I want to just continue real quickly with the projection screen. The projection screen that goes with this camera, with this projector, is an acoustically transparent silver screen. Now, acoustically, they're referring to this communication to the other side, to parallel dimensions. Transparent simply means that they have broken the veil using D-Wave's computers. It is transparent communications now. Silver has to do with the mirrors that are used in magic, that are used in occult rituals. Silver is always being implemented. And the screen is that veil. In the Bible, it talks about in the temple, the renting, the tearing of the veil between normal human beings, worshipers, and passing through the veil to God himself, access to God. So the screen here that they're talking about is that renting of the veil between the dimensions. Again, I have broken down literally every single word in the transcript of this commercial because it is loaded with symbols. It's telling us the story about what's happening in September. They talk about 2.4 reflective gate in this projection screen. Okay? 2.4 doesn't seem like much, but if you take that 2.4, it means 24 karat gold. Again, the age of Aquarius, the golden age, the birthing of the twins. Again, golden Beyonce. You look at Coca-Cola, you look at Kentucky Fried Chicken, which is all gold. Colonel Sanders and the chicken is all gold. Why did they choose gold? Okay? So we're also talking in 2.4. We're talking about twins and the end of the fourth age. So go ahead and jump in there if you want. There's an awful lot in here. I urge people to email me and I'll send you this breakdown. Let's talk about unicorns. Why in the world are they talking about unicorns when they're talking about new technology? Well, because it's spiritual and it's physical. You can't separate the two. So why are unicorns presented in here? Well, there are a whole host of reasons that go into that. But again, unicorns represent special powers, the ability to fly like angels. They represent gods. They represent the unicorn's horn is the horn of Saturn and Satan. It's the only way, in one way, communication to Saturn. They're mythical creatures. They're presented as being real. And again, it's the mixing of DNA. Coming off of, in the video, they're showing what looks like multicolored pixie dust, sprinkles coming off, being projected out of the unicorn's horn. Those are actually, as you look at it, it looks identical to the computer graphics that represent the particles that result from the collision of particles within the detectors at CERN. I've looked at thousands of these graphics, and when I saw this pixie dust, I went, whoa, those look exactly like the graphics showing the particles from the collisions. So they are showing you that this is related to the collider. And it goes deeper than that as far as that's concerned. But again, why bring up unicorns? And then they show the unicorns, and then right after the group of unicorns, they show the 12 strands of DNA represented by the energy streams coming in towards the center on this playa. And the center is the north area target of the main ring. That's why the ring in the video is there. It's the main ring of the collider itself. And everything is coalescing in the center point, whether it's resurrection of DNA, the opening of the portal, and the birthing of the Antichrist, the mark of the beast system being activated. That's what he's talking about here when at the end of the video he's talking about, to be honest. Okay, well, why is he saying honest? Well, because he's been hiding something. And supposedly he's representing, Satan giving you the truth. Well, nothing comes from Satan but lies. But he says, to be honest, it's probably the unicorns. Okay, well, why use the mythology if you're trying to be honest? Why are you using something that is mythical, which is a unicorn? Then he says, feel the power. Okay? This is the birthing of the Antichrist. This is the power that people will feel when their DNA is changed. The third strand of DNA is in everyone. They are dormant nanoparticles. They will be activated by the 5G Wi-Fi system that we are fully immersed in. When the DNA is activated, when you accept through free will, accept the mark of the beast, you will have your third strand of DNA activated. And you will, as he says, feel the power. Okay? And at the very end, the last thing he says is, whoa, that tingles. Well, that's that DNA being activated. That is your body and your mind being changed as you're plugged into the sentient world simulation, the mark of the beast system. Realize that we're being sucked into this system. At the end of this video, the guy who's supposed to be the Antichrist is standing in a whirlpool. He's showing you, he's telling you, you're being sucked into this deception of accepting the mark of the beast. That's why I get excited about this, because I'm concerned about people's souls. I'm concerned about people's welfare. I don't want people getting sucked into this. This is why I raised the alarm. This is why I'm getting excited today, as you said at the beginning, Kev, because it's imperative that people start taking this seriously. This is not woo. This is not Kev and me on Freaky Friday along with Johnny and the other guys. Okay? This is serious stuff. This is the most serious thing in the human race right now. CERN, D-Wave computers, DNA, mark of the beast, sentient world simulation, 5G, immersive Wi-Fi technology. This is all right here in the here and now and is affecting us right now. That's why I'm trying to really blow the warning trumpet here. In the big picture, more talk and discussion of the rebuilding of the temple. It'll be the third temple. Okay? They've got all of the implements, all of the golden and silver implements that they need. They have the red heifer, by the way, the perfect red heifer they have already. And that is the sacrificial bull. This has to do with horse. This has to do with cosmology. This has to do with the constellation of the bull with the horns, the passing through of the horns. All of this ties into Revelation 12, Jupiter, Virgo, the moon in their feet, the birthing of the spirit of the Antichrist. I really want to emphasize this is the birthing of the Antichrist spirit. This is why everything is being pulled together now. The machinery, the symbology, the rituals, the gold, the purple. Gold and purple in Scripture, by the way, Johnny, they will be wearing lavender and scarlet. Okay? That has to do with purple and red blood. They're talking about DNA, and they're talking about the color of the Antichrist. Purple is the color of the Antichrist. That is the mark of the beast system. That's what this commercial XD is showing, a red X. Okay, that is the DNA being merged in the fifth age. It's a combination of Roman numerals 5 and 5, the fifth age. The last thing in here is that CERN is also known as Cernunnos, which is the hunter god. Well, the hunter mural that the Rockefellers own, the hunter mural shows the hunt for the unicorn. It's called the Hunt for the Unicorn Tapestry. Go look at that. That is the killing of the unicorn to obtain the unicorn's blood, to obtain the DNA of the unicorn. That is why CERN is the hunter. It's the machine for DNA resurrection. And I think I've pretty much wrapped it all up there for you, Kev.